Welcome. Welcome.
Bienvenidos.
Welcome to Henrico County Public Schools.
Bem-vindo para Henrico County.
We're glad you're here. I love being a teacher because I learn something new every single day. My kids teach me something new even after 18 years in the classroom.
I love being a teacher because I love knowing that I make a difference in my community. I love knowing that I get to come in every day and work with this awesome group of kids and mold them into the adults that I know are going to make a difference in the community as well.
The kids are fun, crazy, they keep me on my toes, and I just find it to be really rewarding to just play a part in their growth and development.
There was always just kind of this feeling I had when I was around kids, when I was able to show them how to do things, and I could see that light bulb moment happen. That was really special to me, and it kind of just showed me there's nothing else I'd rather do.
I enjoy being a teacher because I've always wanted to be a teacher. Coming from the south side of Chicago, I had instrumental teachers that helped me through some major life challenges. And I think that was embedded in me years ago.
I like people, first and foremost, and I always tell my students that the curriculum is something that we have to stick to, but I'm more concerned about what you get out of education, reshaping the way you think about it, reshaping the way you see it, and that way you can understand things in a different way. And so that's what's important to me.
I'm a product of Henrico County Schools, and I knew that when I came into teaching that I wanted to teach in Henrico. I student taught in Henrico. It is a wonderful place to be a student and an amazing place to be a teacher.
I love teaching in Henrico because it is a community, it is a county that is incredibly diverse. I get to work with kids from all sorts of different cultures, even in my classroom here. Just a wide range of students, and I get to learn more about them and their cultures and their ways of life.
Everybody in Henrico County is really welcoming. I've noticed that when I first got here, like any interaction I had with anybody in different departments, everyone is just really nice and kind. And one thing I really look forward to is being in a situation where I can be around teachers from different schools, and so we can talk about ideas and collaborate, and it's always been a good experience.
Every day, in any aspect of being a teacher or figuring out the software or understanding how to run the smartboard or figuring out where the standards are. How do I build my lesson plans? What do I teach? What do I do when I come into the classroom? And so there's so many people here, to include my mentor, Ms. Lowry, and several other teachers, that they go out of their way to make sure that I understand that I don't fail.
My first year here, my principal was everything. He supported me through some of the hardest days that I just could not see coming, that they don't tell you about in school, and also the really great moments. I was cheered on along the way.
I remember starting off, and I was at a community event, and I worked at Colonial Trail, and I had on this nice t-shirt, and a peer that worked in another school district was like, I bet you didn't have to pay for those shirts. You know, that was I was like, huh? And I didn't understand where she was coming from, but I just knew that I was embedded in a school district that took care of you.
As a first-year teacher, coming into a building, into a profession that's brand new, having a mentor teacher or somebody that you can connect with on a more personal level that you know is your specific buddy was super helpful. Just to know I had a go-to person anytime I needed them, someone to bounce ideas off of, someone to be my cheerleader, someone to support me during the hard days, and someone to help me navigate all of the things in a new building and a new space.
My poor mentor, I was in her room about every day, probably 40 times a day, but it was helpful to me because nobody can prepare you for what teaching is, and what teaching is going to be. And until you get there, you don't know what to expect. But that mentor was so helpful to me because she helped me navigate those moments that I didn't know how to navigate on my own.
I was hired in January, and was teaching for 2 or 3 weeks and then had students come back from virtual. And without mentors there to help me through that, it would have been a much harder and stressful transition. Having a mentor there just to know that I could bounce ideas off of them and speak with them and confide in them really helped.
It was helpful for me because I didn't really know what to expect when I started teaching. And so using different softwares like Schoology and stuff like that was a little new for me. So being able to work with another teacher who's been doing it for a while and getting some help on how to frame my stuff and how I wanted to, give it to the kids, it just helped me get that example that I needed.
I will tell you the mentoring, I was not ready for the amount of mentoring that I was going to get, but it's all been positive. It's all been positive from the leadership that I've had experience with. They pull in from, university professors, from younger people that are closer to the changes in technology. So there's a wide range of available resources out there for me as a teacher, and so I just love it.
I've had a weird, not a weird sense, but a great sense of support, not here, just at my home school. But I set such a foundation when I was an instructional assistant at a former school that I was even able to call a coworker my first year. We sat on the phone for 3 hours and she explained the individualized education plan system that we use here in the county. Now, she did not have to do this. I didn't even work with her any longer, but that right there shared that I was valuable to her and she wanted to ensure that I did my job well. And I would like to even put it out there now that as new teachers, use your resources. People that you meet in New Teacher Academy, people that you meet right there in your school community, use your resources as needed.
Once you are placed in a building, that building becomes your family. And I think as a new teacher, do not be afraid to ask the veteran teachers in your building for help. Do not be afraid to ask your administration for help. But also don't be afraid to share your spark and your magic because you bring so much to the table as a new teacher. And we veteran teachers need to learn as much from you as you need to learn from us. And we're all a team, we're all a family, and we all want our students to be successful. And as long as you put students first, that's all that matters.
Taking over a classroom halfway through the year, I struggled with feeling like the classroom wasn't mine. I felt like I was taking over for a teacher who had already done all these things with the students and set standards and set goals. And I kind of had a little bit of imposter syndrome, and I felt like I shouldn't be taking over this classroom. I have no business stepping on this teacher's toes. And the mentor that I worked with really talked me through and said, no, you were hired for a reason. You're here for a reason. You can do this. You're their teacher now, and it is your classroom. So that was really my biggest thing, was those first couple days getting over that fear and that anxiety.
Everything's going to be a learning curve. Like, you're going to have to learn some new things. But I know that from my experience, the mentors and people in my department were very helpful with, getting us started and getting us going. So I wouldn't worry about any of that other stuff that comes along with, the beginning, because, it's going to be a learning curve, but they'll help you and support you in that process.
Get some rest. I didn't know that my first year. First year I was here till 5:30, 6 o'clock. And this year I have taken some ownership. And when school is over, I have dedicated myself to working out and doing something for me. And I think and I do believe that there is a separation that is needed and when we say self-care, sometimes it's not the pizza in the library. It's you taking some personal time to focus on yourself, to be the best educator that you can be.
So for me, I value the ability of the child to think creatively, to think on their own, to be able to make decisions and not just be a drone. I do not like the drone mentality, and in a lot of situations, the systems are set up for just that. And I have not seen that here. I've seen the fact that I have a lot of room to move to the left and right, up or down, otherwise, to make the classroom mine. And I appreciate that as a teacher. And for me, that is one of the things that's going to probably keep me here for a while, is because of the fact that I have that freedom to change and shape things as long as I keep along the standards. But there's a lot of room there to go in there and make the classroom yours. And that's what I enjoy.
If you give your all to those students, they'll give their all to you. And the teachers around you, they'll be your community. They'll be who you lean on when days are really rough, and there will be many rough days, but they'll also be who you go to for those celebrations. And Henrico County, everything they do, they set up in a way where you feel like you have resources, where you feel like you're not alone in this. And by the end of it, that first year, you just feel like, oh, I'm a teacher. I can do this.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to Henrico County. أهلا وسهلا to Henrico County.
It is going to be a great year.